Hi, I'm Lucy. Welcome to my knitting corner. Today we're going to be talking about all of my hand knits that I've ever made. So I have my knitting notebook with me here, and we're going to get into all the details. I will say I won't be sharing too much about all of my notes on my experience knitting each project, but if I made any modifications, I will share that here. For everything else, I have my Ravelry and my TikTok listed as links in my bio. I say that because I have been sharing quite a bit about my knitting journey on TikTok for some time now, so a lot of information will be there in video form, but my Ravelry is also a great resource if you're interested in learning a little bit more about what I have knit. All of the details are there. Before we get into the bulk of this video, I just want to take an opportunity to say thank you guys for subscribing. As somebody that's still kind of new to this space, I feel very honored and grateful to have people that are valuing the work that I'm doing and the things that I'm talking about. I know that fiber arts are kind of growing right now, which I think is amazing, and I'm really here for it. So if you made your way here to knit with me, I'm really happy you're here and happy you chose to stay. Without further ado, we're going to hop into the show and tell to kind of set the mood. I invite you to get your favorite cozy drink, a blanket, light a candle, take some deep breaths, get comfortable, and we'll get into the video. My little show and tell piece is this little fox letter opener that I got in Bangor, Maine on one of my trips there. You'll find out pretty quickly in this video that I like to visit Maine and I do a lot of shopping while I'm there. This little guy was in this curio shop with a bunch of crystals and things in Bangor, and I just picked him up and I just think he's so cute and whimsical. My vision for this is we'll go chronologically from first cast on to latest cast off. We're starting off strong with my blue beanie. This is maybe one of my favorite hand knits and most worn knits. This is actually not a traditional written pattern. I followed a video tutorial that I found on TikTok to create this, and I'll be listing all of the people mentioned in this video in the description. So if you're looking for a place to find a pattern or a tutorial, it'll be in the description. But yeah, this is just like a 1x1 ribbing central double decrease beanie, and I wore this a lot on one of my trips to Maine while I was knitting my second ever hand knit, which is my step-by-step sweater by Florence. This was knit with Drops Nepal in the colorway 0501, which is kind of this medium toned gray. I typically prefer more positive ease in my sweaters. This pattern doesn't have as much positive ease as I like. I knit a size C in this pattern, and for reference, I'm usually about like a size medium 6 in US commercial sizing. This is a little close next to skin, and with the itchiness of this being so close to skin, I don't get a lot of wear out of this garment. In hindsight, I probably would have knit a size up just to have some positive ease, or maybe add some stitches in the body and the sleeves to put a little positive ease into this garment, but overall, I'm still pretty pleased. Following that, I have my first ever Sophie scarf. This is a size large, so it's the longer version, as opposed to the one I'm wearing now, which we'll get into in a minute. I ended up purchasing the yarn for this in Maine, in Bangor, so I went to, I think it's called Maine Yarn and Supply was the shop, and this is one Lupine Rockport yarn, which is merino wool, silk, and alpaca. And it's in the colorway Dutch Mood. I just think it's such a pretty color. I love a good chartreuse accent. This is my first time ever working in I-cord edge and garter stitch, and yeah, pretty simple, but impactful nonetheless. Another accessory, this is my self-drafted wide striped scarf. I sourced this yarn from a shop called Knitwit in Portland, Maine, and it's Woolfolk Far or Fair, and it's 100% merino wool. Obviously, I got it in two different colorways. This is like a light sky blue and then a deep espresso brown. I have the exact colorways listed on my Ravelry, but essentially I just cast on 30 stitches, knit 20 rows, and then swapped the yarn and continued in that fashion until I had about 24 squares or just whatever length I wanted. And that's my wide striped scarf. I'm actually very excited to wear this in the winter time because I cast this off, I think, in the spring, and I didn't get a lot of wear out of it, so I'm excited to wear it. Next up, we have my Lakes V-neck pullover that I'm currently wearing. My all-time favorite hand knit and definitely my most worn knit. I knit this with Knitting for Olive heavy merino wool in the colorway cardamom. Yeah, I did make some modifications to this pattern. I was seeing a lot of other people working this as a baba dupe at the time and decided to do it myself. The modification that I made on the sleeve was to kind of give it that cropped baba-esque shaping. So instead of doing the 12 decreases on the sleeve, I did 6 decreases and then just kind of cropped it a little shorter. Next, after my Lakes V-neck, is the Nordic tote bag. I shared this in a previous video. This is my Nordic tote bag. It's knit with Drop Snow in the colorway 118, and it's my first ever felted knit. I really enjoyed the process of it, especially towards the end. I will say, even though it's a bulkier yarn, it still took me a while to knit it up just because it's, you're knitting such a huge bag and then you're felting it down. But yeah, overall, I had a good time knitting that for sure. I really look forward to using that in the winter as well. Since it's 100% wool, it's pretty warm and thick. So I think it'll be a wonderful winter tote bag. Next item that's actually a finished object is my rose top. This was a really fun project. I made quite a bit of modifications to this one as well, so I'll share that. But I knit this with Sedna Scarn Lena in the colorway Flaming Scarlet. I was really pleased with my colorway choice in this one. I thought it was really fun, and then I chose this sweet little button to go with it. It's like a brown ceramic button. I was originally planning on using 2 buttons, but the ones that I sourced ended up being a little large, so I went with just the one, and I like how it turned out. For the modifications on this one, I ended up starting off with a size extra small, just because I wanted this to be kind of a negative ease garment. And yeah, I ended up knitting extra small in the chest, and then once I got to the underarms, I added 20 stitches under each armhole, and then kind of decreased from there in the 10 knit rows before the official waist decreases. I started decreasing to get to the right stitch count for a size small at the waist, and then from there I knit a size small. So kind of a funky construction, but ended up turning out how I wanted it to. The last finished object I have here on my neck, my latest Sophie scarf. This is a size small, and I used Sadir Snuggly to knit this. I actually was trying to look for yarn for a cardigan, but ended up not finding that, and then finding this bright colorway, and just kind of on a whim decided to cast on a new quick little accessory. It was really just because I was feeling a little burnt out with my current whips. They're both the same color, like cream butter yellow, and they're taking quite a bit of time, and so I was itching to get that reward from knitting, as well as just a little bit of pop of color and excitement for the autumn season, and this definitely served that purpose for me. So that is kind of a good segue into talking about a couple of changes in my autumn winter knit list that I would like to share. In my last video, I shared a lot about my dream to be knit list for fall and winter, and kind of anticipated a little bit of change there, and lo and behold, we already have a little bit of change. So I initially planned on knitting a cobalt royal blue cardigan. I've since changed my mind to knitting a burgundy or like plum colorway. And that's going to be the Hanni cardigan. That's my plan there. But then the other day I was scrolling and found one of my friends on TikTok. She's wonderful. She has a little space here on YouTube, and I'll list her below in the description. But she knit up this gorgeous foolproof cardigan that she wears a lot in her videos, and I've just been thinking about it nonstop. And the other day I kind of went down a rabbit hole and just decided to purchase yarn for that. So I have that yarn coming in the mail, and that kind of bumps up the Foolproof Cardigan to the #1 spot on my queue. And then following that will be the Hanni cardigan in like a burgundy colorway. And from there, who knows what's going to happen. But thank you so much for watching this video. I will have all of the patterns and people mentioned in this video listed below in the description, as well as my Ravelry and my TikTok linked in my bio here on YouTube. Again, thank you so much for subscribing. I'll see you guys next time, hopefully for a yarn unboxing video.